sectors last year. The crisis in Iraq looks like it should abate, although it still continues. So I think if you just want to stack the positives and negatives, then I would say that the market should consolidate at the current levels, and all hope is riding on what kind of rabbit is pulled out of the hat, metaphorically, by the finance minister on 10th of this month in the budget, and that will determine in the medium course the trajectory for the markets.
Ajay, how is it that you're approaching the oil and gas space? Because all the news seems to be coming out of that sector, and now with the delay in a decision on the gas price hike.
Yeah, I think there was a hope in the market that some sort of calibration, albeit a measured calibration in terms of aligning the prices of diesel, kerosene and LPG with the international prices will be announced. I think it's early days yet. You've just seen 30 days of the current government, but we need sort of, to have a clear direction. It need not be a large one-time hike, especially in the wake of the fact that there is a crisis boiling in the Middle East, but some sort of roadmap that over the next 2 or 3 years, this is the way we are going to go. Maybe adoption of Kelkar committee report in terms of over 2 or 3 year period, the way they have advised, aligning both LPG and kerosene prices in addition to diesel prices with small measured hikes. I think that is the direction that the market is looking at. Market is not looking at strong one-time hikes, because it knows that in a country like India, in a polity like India, which is so toxic, one cannot have a sort of a very sharp increases, but a roadmap in terms of aligning the international prices with the domestic prices is what market is looking at. And even in case of gas prices, I think the market is willing to give them 3 months, but at the end of 3 months, I think some sort of clarity on incentivizing domestic production and weaning away large imports of LNG is something very important, and the government needs to take cognizance of that.
So Ajay, what will happen to some of these energy stocks for next 3 months? Do you think ONGC, Reliance, Oil India, Cain India, companies which are direct beneficiaries if a gas price hike is indeed implemented, these stocks will suffer, these stocks will underperform for next 3 months?
I think, in my opinion, these stocks will continue to move sideways, all in the anticipation and hope that a realignment will happen. Whether 4.2 goes to 8.4, or as sort of some of the media sources are indicating, it could be a tad lower by removing the Japanese LNG part in terms of the average, which was actually leading to that jump from 4.2 to 8.4, with the Japanese LNG ruling at $14 to $16 per unit. If you remove that, I think the hike comes to something like between $6 and $7. So we got to see the exact contours after 3 months. But till that time, I think I would tend to agree with you. The stocks would continue to remain under pressure. They'll certainly not outperform the other sort of space.
Ajay, a lot of interest in the auto ancillary space, and that seems to be getting even more concentrated when it comes to the tire stocks. What is your preferred list at Prabhudas?
Yeah, I think in the auto ancillary space, our preference for the last 1 year has always remained, the top pick has been Motherson Sumi, and our analyst continues to remain extremely positive on Motherson Sumi. He is expecting a revenue growth of around 18% in the current financial year, followed by 17% in FY16, and an earnings growth of around 28.6% in the current year, followed by around 37% in FY16. The stock is trading, stock is around 37% ROE, projected for the current year, 37% in next financial year, and it's trading at 16.2 times FY16 earnings. So I think that is a stock in the medium term I would advise investors to accumulate at every dip and sort of make it as part of the core portfolio.
Okay, let's look at Motherson Sumi, and this stock has been a massive is the word, massive outperformer. In last 1 month, the appreciation is close to 100%. In last 6 months, it has been outperformer, and even on a 3-month basis, it has managed to buck the trend. There you go, 6-month performance, 70%, 52-week change, much more than 100%. So on all count, be it 1 year, 6 months, 1 week, or even 3 months, Motherson Sumi has been a marked out performer. Ajay, the trigger for Motherson Sumi was revival in European demand. Now markets are well aware that Europe is not a trouble point. In fact, Europe is going to be the growth propeller. So what could be the next trigger now? Because the stock seems to be baking in a lot of good news. It's no longer a cheap stock. Motherson Sumi is now trading at a P multiple of what, 18-19 times.
16.2 times as per our numbers of FY16 earnings and around 22 times FY15 earnings. But then that is to be seen in the context of the ROE of the company and the earnings growth. As I just submitted to you, earnings growth of 29% current year, followed by 37% projected for next financial year. Talking about Europe, I think, you hit the nail. I think the company has got a 4 billion euro order in Europe, which they intend to execute in the next few years, and I think that execution should start, I think, happening soon. So I think the fundamentals are well supportive of the valuations that one has seen. The ROEs continue to remain extremely high at 37%. So although, and we've been recommending it for last 1 year. So I do take your point that the stock has massively outperformed, has given superlative returns. But then I think, we still feel that there is tremendous value in the stock if you take a medium term, 1 year to 18-month perspective.
Okay, Ajay, hold on to that thought. We're going to take a very quick break, come back, continue our discussion with Ajay Bodke, also get you some stock strategies from Mitesh Thakkar.
Politics has trumped economics for too long now. But will that end with Budget 2014? Armed with a decisive mandate and virtually no opposition, will the BJP be brave to take the bold decisions? Or will Modi's men buckle under political pressure? Up against history and a truckload of expectations, can Arun Jaitley keep the Modi juggernaut rolling? The politics of budget on the Big Reset, only on ET Now.
Well, a spectacular run-up that we saw today in NALCO as well as the GMDC. It's almost a 17% uptick that we've seen in prices coming in, which augurs well for both these companies. The second one is the data point coming out of China, where the imports have increased, the bauxite imports from China have increased from India.
The story impacts the stock. The story moves the markets.
Any campaign that we do for a client is all about trying to justify and develop the purpose of the company. And it's the same for FIFA. So FIFA has to demonstrate that having the World Cup in Brazil helps infrastructure improvement, health and well-being, education, sustainability. All these are issues that you can cover with an event.
Catch Martin Sorrell discuss the relevance and impact of advertising in marketing campaigns on Brand Equity Chats with Martin Sorrell, only on ET Now.
एक महीने में 5 किलो।
इम्पॉसिबल।
देखते हैं।
ये क्या कर रहे हो?
जल्दी वजन घटाने का ये मेरा सुपर हिट फॉर्मूला है।
आज क्यों नहीं आया?
ये कैसे?
अच्छी सेहत पानी है तो निरंतर एक्सरसाइज करो और अच्छे रिटर्न्स के लिए निरंतर निवेश करो। सोचकर समझकर इन्वेस्ट कर।
सोचकर समझकर इन्वेस्ट कर।
NSE द्वारा निवेशकों के हित में जारी।
पंखुड़ी की पालकी में आई हो, खुशबुओं की झील में नहाई हो, हाँ खुदा कसम, हाँ खुदा कसम कह रही है जुबां, हाँ खुदा कसम कोई तुम सा कहा, हाँ खुदा कसम।
Backward trading calls right here on ET Now, inching closer now to the union budget, the fag end of the month, and this morning you've got quite a set of global cues to support you with. But let's get in some trading strategies going. Mitesh, what's it that you would recommend to the viewers?
Yeah. I have buy call on Bharat Forge. That's a buy with a stop below 590. Look for targets of 650 on the upside. Oracle Finserv appears to be triggering an uptrend. That's a buy with a stop below 3000. Look for a first target of 3150. Wipro appears to have given a breakout by closing above 540 after a long time. So that's a buy with a stop below 537. Look for a target of 565 on the upside. I've got a buy on Power Grid with a stop below 133 for targets of 143 on the upside. And a sell on ACC if it breaks 1420. Sell then with a stop at 1436 for a marginal dip to about levels of 1390.
Ajay, is it time now to lock some gains in PSU banks, because unfortunately we have a global risk and a local situation. Global risk is oil, local situation is poor monsoon, impact on inflation is going to be high, and it's going to be a problem, you know, controlling interest rates in the short term. If inflation is not going to come down, rates will not come down, and banks may not rally further.
I think I would take a selective approach instead of sort of taking a call that I would of being negative on all the PSU banks. I would look at those banks that have shown a propensity where the fresh slippages are lower than the upgrades that one has seen in the last 3 to 6 months. I think those banks I would still continue to be positive on. I think SBI is one of the banks I think which has shown this in the last in the last quarterly numbers, and I would still wait for a quarter or two to see whether the trend continues or there is a deterioration as per the thesis that you have just put out. But generally, I think I would place more bets. I think in case of some of the private sector banks, I think HDFC Bank comes to mind because that bank has clearly underperformed because of the overhang about their FIPB approval. I think a positive resolution of that sort of issue, in my opinion, can propel the stock I think to higher levels. And the underperformance that one has seen in HDFC Bank vis-a-vis the banking universe as a whole, I think one could see a bridging of that. So I think in the short term, I would look at HDFC Bank. I would also sort of be looking at on declines ICICI Bank and Axis Bank. And in case of mid-cap private sector banks, I would be looking at Federal Bank.
Ajay, but why is ICICI Bank underperforming both HDFC Bank and Axis Bank? ICICI Bank is a cheap bank. It has got a decent exposure to economy. It has got a decent exposure to power and both some industrial sector per se. So if markets are betting on economic recovery, ICICI Bank should be the first port of call.
Yeah, I think, as I said, our preferences clearly remain with HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, and then ICICI Bank. As I said, I think, I personally feel that in the short term, the possibility of HDFC Bank outperforming the other two as the overhang gets cleared, I think, is more. And I would be sort of, weighing in more on HDFC Bank's favor. Both HDFC and Axis Bank, as compared to ICICI Bank, are more retail-focused bank. I think the market, a section of the market, does believe in the thesis that I think it will take some time for the economic recovery to happen, and hence I think they would rather sort of weigh in favor of within the private sector universe also those banks which are more retail-focused, and hence I think Axis Bank has done well as compared to ICICI Bank.
Ajay, ITC saw a sizable correction last week. Fears that excise duty on cigarette will go up again in budget really spooked that stock, and ITC plunged to a 6-month low. Do you think it's a good time to revisit ITC because the mode of the market currently is defensive?
I think our FMCG analyst is positive on ITC, especially at the current levels. I think he has a medium-term price target of around 390 rupees, in fact, on ITC. And I think there was a statement attributed to the Honorable Health Minister, wherein I think he had a couple of weeks back said that I think one needs sort of, to ensure that tobacco industry, I think, does have to pay heftily, I think, for some of the health effects that it does cause. And that is what has spooked the market, and the stock tumbled. But I think at the current level, I would tend to agree with you that there is value in ITC. We are looking in ITC at around, say, 15% growth in revenues, CAGR of 15-16, sorry, in revenues. And in earnings, we are looking at around 17% growth in the current financial year, followed by 16.4% in the next financial year, and ROE of around 39% we are projecting for ITC. Stock is trading at 21 times FY16 earnings and 25 times FY15 earnings. So I would be a buyer on ITC, especially I think, as I said, the market does look like it will stall for some time till such time that we get some clarity from the budget. I think, it's a good defensive to be in at the current valuations.
Ajay, good chatting with you. We'll let you go on that note. Appreciate you taking the time out and speaking with us. That's the view on the fundamentals. Let's also analyze what futures and options is going to throw up at us. Amit Trivedi, co-founder, investor.